this is After Campfire. My name is Sam Rubenstein. It's a pleasure to be here. It's been a while. It's been 2 months. I just went back and watched Henry's video. It's been a whirlwind. I got married. Yay. I went on a mini moon. Yay. I got into a doctoral program. Yay. I've been running around like a crazy person. Yay. Um, Things are beginning to slowly calm down and get back to normal. So I was like, let's get back on track with these. My birthday is tomorrow. I turn 31. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Henry flies out to the East Coast to spend Christmas Eve with Amanda tomorrow. Yay, yay, yay. This puts us in a weird spot where I have to make this video quickly. I've got so much to talk about. There's not enough time. There's just not. So I'm going to not. I'm just going to not. I'm not going to go over everything that happened. Okay? So we're just going to go right into questions because that's what needs to happen for these to continue. I need to not be overwhelmed by life. So we'll start with my question. I remember why I asked this question so vividly. It was because Max kept telling people what kind of dessert they were based on his feelings and opinion of them as people. My personal favorite was, I don't remember who it was, but he referred to them as a key lime pie. He said that they're not his first choice, but he's not going to ever say no to one. He doesn't want a key lime pie. He doesn't know anyone who wants a key lime pie, but everyone will eat a key lime pie. And it kind of just felt like such a good question. And then Henry used it to hurt me by telling me that I'm a brownie and that I'm too much and everyone will get sick of me one day, which is a genuine fear of mine. That's fine. That's fine. I accept being a brownie. I don't like chocolate enough to enjoy brownies. Like, I have them occasionally, but I just thought it was a very interesting question. And Henry was worried about his answer being too basic. And trust me, I thought about it. I thought about being like, Henry's a piece of vanilla ice cream. He's just vanilla ice cream. There's nothing interesting about him. And I thought about that, and I was like, that's not accurate. And I'll tell you something. The reason it's not accurate is because it's too simple. It doesn't go into exactly who or what Henry is. And so I had to think about it a little bit more. And the thing that I've come to the realization of as I was going through this and I was thinking about it, Henry is not vanilla ice cream. Henry very much is a good old-fashioned New York style cheesecake. Still vanilla, still like something that could be considered basic. However, the thing I love about New York cheesecake, and I'm mad because I'm not at work. There's a really good place that makes really good cheesecake near me, and like they have their plain vanilla cheesecake, their New York style plain cheesecake, but they also have all these funky, fresh cheesecake styles. And you could easily argue, well, they're not, but they are. They still are just New York style cheesecake, just funky and different. And so I think the reason I'm picking a New York style cheesecake is because, Henry, you are as basic as you choose to be. Yeah, I could get plain vanilla cheesecake, Henry, but depending on the situation, maybe we get a cookies and cream version of the same thing. And you are adaptable to the situation. And that is delicious. Like, I had a dulce de leche cheesecake, and I thought, man, this is great. I have not had this in forever. And then I was good. You don't need to always be looking for the same thing. You can get a variety out of one person. And if there's anything Henry is known for being, it is varietal. Not in terms of the food he eats or in terms of the clothes he wears, but in terms of there's a Henry for every situation. There's a Henry for when you're sad. There's a Henry for when you're angry. There's a Henry for when you're looking to go on an adventure. And there's a Henry for when you're looking to just stay at home and watch terrible shows. There's a Henry for everything. And they're all still Henry. They're all still a New York style cheesecake, but they're all different, and that makes it delicious. That's my answer. Now you asked me a question, and then you asked me a second question. And the first question was about taking over camp, and that was fine. And then you went, no, 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 we're not doing that one no more. And you asked me if I could change the rules to something I love, like hockey. What rules would I change? Um, it's interesting you bring this up because I have a lot of feelings about the rules of hockey. There have been a lot of changes recently in hockey in terms of rules. None of them have been huge, but they've been small yet noticeable. Like they gave a little bit more space behind the net so that people could move around a little bit more. They changed the icing to prevent concussion, so you don't have to touch the puck for icing. You just have to be winning the race to touch the puck for icing. Um, you can no longer hit someone in the back. Everyone has to wear a visor now up to a certain point. So, like anyone who's not wearing a visor is older than that rule and is grandfathered in. Um, but they have been making small changes, but a lot of them have been safety focused. Um, for example, there's a rule regarding like the 5 minute major for hits that could be deemed dangerous. So there's a player on the Rangers. His name's Matt Rempe. He's 6'7". That's not with skates on. He's like 7 foot on skates. He's a giant compared to everyone else. And so he had a bad habit of taking bad penalties. And he's getting a little bit better at it. But recently he got ejected at a 5 minute major and a game misconduct for a hit to the back that could have been dangerous. And I think that rule makes perfect sense. However, that's not what the question was. The question was, what rules would I make? And the answer to that question looks at a different league. There is a different league in hockey that I'm a big fan of called the PWHL. That's the Women's Hockey League. The PWHL is the Professional Women's Hockey League. And they have a rule that I just think is so cool where if your team takes a penalty, so you're playing one man down or one woman down in the case of the PWHL, if you're playing a person down and you get the puck, and your player's in the penalty box. Normally in like NHL games, and you just dump the puck and you have to kill off your 2 minutes. For the PWHL, they have what's called the jailbreak rule, where if your team takes a penalty, if you score shorthanded, the penalty is just over. If you score with 4 people instead of 5, you get that 5th person back. It's called the jailbreak rule. I love it. I think it's cool. I think it's exciting. And it puts more pressure on teams to think out a little bit more on the power play. In the NHL power play, you could have, 4 forwards and a defenseman. That's great. And that's fun. It means for a lot of shots from a lot of angles. But it also means there's a solid amount of breakdowns defensively where you can easily get out and, win. Not win, but like get a breakaway and potentially make something interesting. This now incentivizes teams defensively to play a little bit more aggressively and for teams on the power play to be a little bit smarter. I think it's a really cool rule. I think it's something the NHL should adopt, and I like it. So that's my answer to this question. The PWHL rule, the jailbreak rule, should be part of the NHL. Now, I asked Henry a question offline. I'm going to stick with this question because I like this question. I started playing hockey again. I started playing goalie again. And when I started playing goalie, I was surprised by how quickly it kind of all came back to me in terms of like not the being in shape, but the knowledge of what to do. Kind of just all came back to me at once. And so I was surprised. And when I was talking with a friend of mine named Aaron, who Henry you have met, who I play hockey with, and his whole thing was, well, obviously, you're not naturally athletic. Being athletic was never part of it for you. He said your whole goal is that you are intelligent with hockey. You have one of the highest hockey IQs of people I know, which is true. When I was little, my coach had told me um, that if you're not going to be the fastest or strongest or biggest player on the ice, you need to be the smartest. And I took that real personally. So for me, it came back pretty quickly of just like, this is what I got to do. This is where I have to be. This is how I'm supposed to play it. Like, not, you know, anything crazy. So my question, Henry, um, is what is something that you're naturally good at compared to something where you've gotten really good because you've learned everything about it? And what are those two things and why? Um, Let me know about it. I will see you in like a week. Goodbye.